It's been a while. But, well, at least we started it. Um, Forget this intro. Let's just start the video.
When did anime begin? That's actually a really hard question to answer. It is documented that it began in 1917, but it could also have been with Astro Boy in the 60s, the influential anime created by Osamu Tezuka, the acclaimed godfather of manga and anime, and popularized the art form with its distinctive big eyes. One must not forget of
Alright, but why does this have to do anything with, Dragon Ball?
Yeah, I don't know why he's bringing that up.
That's why I'm saying
This,
it's such a good
I
start.
mean, if we would talking about specifically shonen manga and anime, I would kind of understand why he's bringing it up, but he's not talking about shonen specifically.
When anime started, I think is when Japanese started animating. The concept of
Well,
animation went to the East
yeah, well, that's probably the most accurate answer. Yeah.
rather than Astro Boy popularizing the medium, presumably.
Yeah.
Kajiwara's Ashram with its
Espion?
Yeah, sounds about right. I'm not arguing against that.
distinctive big eyes. One must not forget of Kajiwara's Ashita no Joe, with its grounded story of boxing in the late 60s and 70s. Or it might have been with Isao Takahata and Hayao Miyazaki, with their shows Heidi and Lupin III, or even with their films when they formed Studio Ghibli. Maybe it was during the 80s, when anime grew as both an industry and an art form, culminating with Katsuhiro Otomo's
Why is there so many
Why?
answers to this one question?
I don't even get. Can he get to the point, please? Why is he bringing it up? That was almost a minute of fluff now.
Lupin? Lupin came out way before the first animation period came out, so whatever.
I don't not know where he's getting it.
Hatono. No. What did he say again?
when they formed in 70s. No Joe, with its grounded story, one must not forget of Kajiwara's Ashita no Joe.
Ashita no Joe, yeah. I heard something about Ashita no Joe being like the first tournament arc in Shonen. Had the first tournament arc in Shonen, so I just wanted to say that.
Culminating with Katsuhiro Otomo's Akira that aired in 1988 and is considered to be one of the most influential films ever. All of these answers could be accurate.
Was Akira even popular at the time?
I don't know. I have no knowledge about Akira.
Could just be like sleeper hits, or like had a cult following and recently.
Because when something begins, it doesn't have to be when it actually started, but it can be when we
What?
Did he just say where it begins is not where it starts?
Yes,
That's kind of a synonym, isn't
that's
it?
ass backward indeed. I, what do you?
I mean,
What does this have to do with Dragon Ball?
there is one scenario where that sentence was correct. A story can begin before it starts with like flashbacks.
And narration and
Like the story starts at this point, but the beginning of the story is before the starting point, as in the story before the starting point, like episode one. The stuff that happens before then could be the beginning of the story, but it only really starts at episode one. In that context, it makes sense, but in every other case, that sentence is just bollocks.
Karam starting off so good. I didn't expect it to. We gotta look more of these Kaze Talks videos because this guy's a character.
we are presented to it, like it was presented to me in the early 90s with a young boy who had this weird tail hanging out from his behind, who lived in the far off mountains alone and guarding this little ball with 4 stars, who was crazy strong, but also incredible.
I think he meant he saw this, and therefore this is where anime started for him.
Jesus. Why?
He saw one Japanese animation, and that's when anime begun for him. I guess he said it so weirdly.
Yeah. Yeah. He could have said it in
Incredibly
like 10 seconds.
He could have just said something something for me something something.
Yeah, but instead he went on a whole tangent.
with 4 stars, who was crazy strong, but also incredibly charming. The young boy named Son Goku, and that anime was Dragon Ball. That's where it all started for me, when I was still very young, and it influenced the whole world in the 90s. So much so that I was living in a
Oh no.
Hello,
He just
anime,
took.
you whack
He just
ass.
said. He just spent 1.5 minutes explaining that anime started for him with Dragon Ball. 1.5 minutes.
Also, Dragon Ball was around since the mid '80s. Even the anime was around the '80s. So, and anime wasn't really popular in the '90s. It was very niche. So, whatever. This guy's
I mean Astro Boy, but you know, like absolutely. Oh, we can say something about like oh it made it popular or whatever, but it's the first thing. No way, no way.
He brought it actually up, I
It's like
suppose.
isn't Ippo like older than Dragon Ball or something? Like I'm
yes.
like starting that.
I
I'm starting that, and it's pretty
no
good
no
so
no no.
far. Good start.
Hajime was
Hajime no Ippo or whatever Ippo.
Hajime no Ippo.
Ippo, yeah. I'm starting that.
I'm pretty sure
So far, it's a
it's
good start.
younger than Dragon Ball. But anyways, this guy just started off saying, "When did anime begin?" And then, not when animation actually started, not when Astro Boy became a norm for animation, not when Dragon Ball. Not, what does it have to? I'm. I hate thinking. Please.
Don't you understand? It's the perfect shonen because it introduced him to anime. It makes perfect sense.
Oh, that might be what he's gonna say. Oh. God, I hate these people who couldn't see past their nostalgia. God.
foreign country that wasn't broadcasting it yet, and I bought every show that I was living in a foreign country, and it influenced the whole world in the 90s. So much so
The whole world in the '90s. I said something about it not being popular here, even in the '90s.
that I was living in a foreign country that wasn't broadcasting it yet, and I bought every VHS tape that existed in my home country so I could watch it anywhere I was. If it wasn't being shown to me, then I would find a way to watch it. All because I wanted to see this character named Son Goku go from this charming young boy to become one of the world's strongest warriors, to overcome every struggle and villain he went through. And I'm going to be talking about it today. Not the whole show, but the original Dragon Ball that was aired on TV before the change to Dragon Ball Z. The show that started it all. And even though I do feel this is pointless for the majority of the viewers of this video, I should warn that I will spoil this show heavily. You have been warned. It's time to talk about
Peon, what's so funny?
I just found it funny that he made a spoiler warning for original Dragon Ball, which almost nobody saw, and like, I mean, I suppose it's nice, but it's just so unexpected to hear that about Dragon Ball. Because, I
Yeah,
mean,
no one really watches Dragon Ball.
I mean, and
Forget.
I suppose it isn't even that story heavy, and almost anyone kind of who's barely invested kind of knows what happens.
Not to mention The early parts of Dragon Ball get shafted by everyone.
It's actually kind of okay
Not
if you kind
not
of
in terms of
ignore.
quality. I mean, it just gets forgotten.
Yeah, yes, it gets forgotten, but quality-wise, it's not that terrible. Or it has just some really weird humor.
It's like
Well, what's a great example for that? Like that scene with Bulma and Roshi, and Bulma's very young, and then she reveal, oh no, she doesn't have her panties.
it's
Yeah,
a
but
classic misunderstanding gag.
no,
No,
it's not a misunderstanding. It's clear cut. It's exactly what it's supposed to be. He,
I mean, Komui doesn't need to do that to be funny. I mean, yeah, you have a yandere, but at least it's not like in full-fledged showing panties. Like, wait, no, not it wasn't even panties. It was just full-on skin.
yes, she showed herself naked to him. Yeah, as a joke, but not a joke in universe, but for the show. It, the humor of the original Dragon Ball was really, really weird.
unintentional gag. Whatever. I'm just trying to put into it. Also, when was? Hopefully, he's talking about the dubbing of Dragon Ball, which should be around the 90s, but I'm gonna look that up. Because he's talking about the VHS's Intersound Inc. 79 Sunset is they did they did Dr. Slump. Yeah, Harmony Gold, that's what I thought. So yeah, they even around the 80s.
Maybe it's like a freaking like website that's just like anime that was before Dragon Ball Z.
That's completely redundant. But anyways, I'm
Immediately
making
when I
sure.
typed in anime before, immediately when I typed in anime before, it's like Dragon Ball Z. It's just like Dragon Ball Z, the first anime, like space, uh,
You,
much artist,
we're not going into
freaking
the
Journey to
what
the
was the first
West.
anime. We're not even
I
going
will
when
do
anime
that.
started. No, we're not. We're
Oh,
not.
oh,
It's when
I'm doing that.
it's the first animated thing. The first animated thing. That's when anime started. When animation was.
Kimbo, like the White Lion, Kimbo, like White Lion.
That isn't
You know
the first
that,
anime.
well, not the first, but it was definitely before Dragon Ball. I'm pretty sure. Well, Dragon Ball Z.
We're
I'm
not
not sure
talking
about Dragon
about
Ball.
this. We know
It's a
things. We
very
know
old.
things that we know things happened before Dragon
I
Ball.
know. I'm just an example. I'm just an example.
What
I
is
don't
an
know. It's just.
example?
There might be someone out here listening who's listening. It's just like I'm not convinced.
I'm not
You know.
convinced. I'm not convinced something that came out in the 80s was the
What the?
first.
Then why is this dude even saying this? You know, you say it's absurd how this dude is saying this. But here we are having other people say this.
For whatever
Come
reason,
on.
he was trying to say anime started for him with Dragon Ball.
Oh. Okay.
About the original
It doesn't help that I kind of hopped in here
It doesn't help
and get the full
the
context.
first minute 15 were complete word jumble.
My bad.
Yeah, he stood about talking about the history, and then he said, "Yeah, but for me it started with that," and it was really bad, that beginning part. And he just listed off names in Japanese that nobody knows really, and it was really hard to understand.
Dragon Ball. Influenced by the Chinese novel Journey to the West, Dragon Ball was a manga created and illustrated by Akira Toriyama, starting in 1984 and serialized in Weekly Shonen Jump. And in 1986, Toei Animation
Jeez, those eyes. Did Toriyama draw that? Because those eyes do not look like Toriyama's. Oh, but whatever, that's a detail.
materialized
Maybe it's just like some type of. Actually, yeah, it could just be some dude just doing some mimic art of just Toriyama stuff.
I mean, that's not unusual for people on Shonen Jump covers to have guest art in their own art style.
Alright.
It happens quite
in
often.
Weekly Shonen Jump. And in 1986, Toei Animation produced a Japanese anime television series of the same manga. Suffice to say that both the manga and the anime will not only be
Wait.
huge. 6, Toei Animation produced a Japanese anime television series of the same manga. Suffice to say that both the manga
I don't know why I'm pausing on this. He just said Japanese animated television series.
Seriously, yeah, that's a bit weird, yeah.
Kind of sus. Alright, the game is in my head.
Whatever. It's fine, it's fine, it's fine.
and the anime will not only be hugely successful in Japan, but also everywhere else in the world. And I will focus more on the anime, but only the parts that represent the core context that is shown in the manga. And in order to do that, we need to go back all the way to the first episode where our adventure begins. Dragon Ball tells the story of a young boy called Son Goku, who is introduced to a young teenager called Bulma. Bulma is set out to find 7 existing magical stones called the Dragon Balls, and when finding all 7, a magic dragon called Shenron can be summoned, who is then able to grant one wish of any kind. Straight from the bat, we understand exactly who Goku is and what he is like. This
Well, Shenlong, and alright.
innocent young boy who has been living alone for quite some time after his grandfather passed away, not only survives a bullet to the face, but he also straight out defeats the first foe he comes across. This is probably one of the most inspiring things for any young kid, to see this really small, charming, good-hearted boy being able to overcome easily someone who is much bigger and way more frightening than our main protagonist. But most of all,
Well,
Jonathan?
he clearly... Well, Jonathan's kind of the same size as Dio, but I was talking about Astro Boy since he brought that up.
Oh, that's another one. I'm pretty sure like they made like a remake movie of that. A reboot movie,
I mean,
would
if he's
say.
trying to say this is a unique thing for Dragon Ball, then we have issues here, but just quote unquote inspiring, then I have less issues with that, because it's just a, well, yeah, people could, but who actually, who was actually inspired by young Goku smashing that pterosaur or whatever type
Probably,
of dinosaur?
he probably was when he was like describing this. He's probably saying that he would probably be freaking so
Hopefully
giddy.
he's talking about himself and saying that to like
Yeah,
other people that don't exist. That better be what he's trying to imply. Implier.
yeah, because it's just like that's what got me. Was just like you're just like, oh no, he's just talking about his experience. It's just like, oh crap, I forgot. I didn't hear that one. I didn't hear that part. That definitely
How
changes your
charming
entire
this-
argument.
but most of all, how charming this all is through Toriyama's amazing understanding of comedy. He doesn't just use comedy to make us laugh, but to show who each character is and how they juxtapose with each other to make each personality more distinct. And from this point,
Isn't that just character writing?
Yeah, like
Yeah,
community
kind
from
of, yeah.
the community. You know, community. Same dude who made freaking Rick and Morty. You know, this has been going on for a while. And this is probably just a praise. It's like, hey, they did something that was quite similar to other things, but they did it right. You know, they did it well, just like other shows. I hope he's saying that.
Whatever.
What is that
point
sound?
on,
A stapler.
Oh.
Goku's life would never be the same. Dragon Ball is the quintessential shonen anime. Shonen
Well, we already know that, but that's not true.
Especially like Spy X Family being an anime and everything. It's just well, I mean being a shonen, right? Like and also freaking Death Note.
But
It's not like
is it the quintessential shonen?
not really. I don't think so.
Does it encapsulate everything young boys will experience or will enjoy in their lifetime?
I mean, I don't think
No?
so.
Alright.
I don't think so. It's just
Because big praise for something that even Toriyama doesn't care about, especially anymore.
Same. Dragon Ball is the quintessential shonen anime. Shonen normally having the definition of young boy, not only is it a genre, but also intended to target a certain demographic of people. And shows like Dragon Ball, Naruto, One Piece, and My
Not
Hero
a
Academia
genre.
Yeah, not genre.
Death Note.
That's a
Yeah.
misconception, a common one. It's actually just a demographic.
It was like demographic for like
Young boys.
17 all the way to 13. Then
Mm.
Shannon, is that what you call it? Shannon, where it's like
Yeah,
above,
Shannon.
like young adults, like
Yes,
Berserk.
exactly. But it's common of commonly confused with these battle mangas are often confused as the shonen genre. That's a really common misconception.
It's not like it's the issue with language.
Yeah.
Shonen itself just means it's for young boys. But
No, the quintessential.
since Shonen Jump is a thing, sorry for the stapler sound. They conflate Shonen Jump with Shonen period, and since the actual meaning of Shonen is so on and so forth, English and other people who are not aware with the language get confused with it.
have that intent to show young male protagonists wanting to overcome some sort of struggle, whether from the outside or within, to reach the outcomes they set out for.
Not specifically young males. Araki wanted to make Jolene and Giorno, whatever the hell was going on in part 5.
And Anasui as a female, but nope. Nope, they're not gonna do that.
But primarily,
It was a hard no where they had to retcon it. That's the one retcon where it's just like, okay, you can't even blame Rock with that. They were clearly like, no, you are not allowed to do this.
In order to do this, this is normally divided into sagas, where our protagonist is faced with something new. And Dragon Ball would cement this by having a clear main goal throughout the entire series, and that is Goku.
normally, uh, why is it normally like that? This is the first time I've heard something like this.
It isn't actually commonly. The term saga is actually really uncommon. I really only know of shonen that use sagas.
Uh,
Always wants to get stronger. It's such an easy and simple premise. He wants to get stronger, and thus we want him to get stronger too. And then this is taken even further in Dragon Ball Z, and focusing on overcoming the most fearsome villains
Didn't
of
he
the
say
show.
did Dawson talk about Z?
no, he said he's talking about Dragon Ball. And he specifically said the parts before Z.
Yeah, but I'm confused because it said, yeah, we're not talking about Z today, we're talking about normal Dragon Ball today, and now he's saying about Z, which confuses me. But I'll see where he goes with that.
Even though Dragon Ball Z is still technically Dragon Ball, since it was always called that throughout the entire manga when it was illustrated, there's no doubt that as the story goes along, it becomes more and more serious. while you gain even more struggle with that, having characters really question themselves, having the fate of the whole world and even the universe at stake. You also lose the charm that it had in the beginning, which is noticeable from the first episode. And it's that mix of charm and seriousness that in my opinion elevates the original Dragon Ball anime in comparison to Dragon Ball Z. After the first saga of finding the 7 Dragon Balls, Goku would train with Krillin under the guidance of martial arts.
Lord, just pause it already. Yeah, I would say Dragon Ball Z just lost the humor and didn't replace it with anything else. I don't know if that's a good or bad thing, but that's what I see in the Dragon Ball Z section of things. What are you looking at me for? Can I have this? Sure.
There's just so much better things out there.
That's not what I'm implying. I'm just saying they just dropped the
Oh,
comedy and just left it with the action and not really supplementing it with anything.
that too. But sorry.
Oh, alright then.
Master Muten Roshi, all to prepare themselves for the biggest martial arts
It's just Master Roshi, not Master Muten Roshi. That just means Master Roshi. This man don't know his Japanese.
master Muten Roshi, all to prepare themselves for the biggest martial arts tournament in the world. One where if you would win, you would become the Earth's strongest fighter. This is where the show would become more interesting thematically, because Muten Roshi didn't want these young boys who had become enormously strong winning the tournament on their first try. He wanted them to learn the value of failure in order to always try and become stronger, to stay humble, to not get cocky, to always have something to fight for. And he would be the one to make sure that would be the case. So, Muten Roshi would then disguise himself as an unknown fighter to participate in the tournament to fight against them and win. And he disguises himself because he doesn't want his students to be emotionally affected by their relationship with their master. And so, he would call himself Jackie Chun. Not only is this funny, it also shows how much of an influence martial arts movies were for Dragon Ball, like Drunken Master was. And by having Goku lose the fight at the end, it stays in tune with what Muten Roshi wanted in the first place. For this young boy to not reach so quickly the title of Earth's strongest fighter, to always have something to fight for. This saga would define tournament sagas for years to come.
No, it's just not like Krillin and Goku have a hot head over their training.
Yeah.
There's nothing more after that.
It's a little nice thing there. It's just like, don't get cocky. Don't be full of yourself. I'm gonna keep you in check, boys.
Not sure how effective that really went, considering how many times he left his
Especially,
guard down.
yeah.
But at least you tried, Roshi. Good job.
In shonen anime. But if you were to ask me,
Wait.
define tournament sagas for years to come in shonen anime. But
I wouldn't say define, but there are plenty of other shonen that did the tournament arc. Maybe better, maybe not. So why did it define tournament arcs?
Yeah, I would like an explanation on that as well. But what I'm still wondering is, how does all of this make Dragon Ball the perfect shonen?
First, it was his first anime. Then now he just said it defined the tournament arc in Shonen. So, well, that's all I got. Just those 2 points. Also, well, he didn't say it, but I said Hasta no Hakad. So, the thing about Joe, something Joe, I forget what the hell they call it, originated the tournament arc in Shonen Jump. At least that's what I
Than
heard.
Joe.
What, you know the name of the song? I mean, show?
Nah, it's a weird. Yeah, it's a bit interesting.
Because I'm doing Fuji
Name.
the North Star, but it's not Hatono. It's.
Let me check it.
Or whatever.
If you were to ask me which saga is able to mix perfectly the charm and seriousness of the show, my answer would have to be the Red Ribbon Army Saga. Now, I know this isn't normally a fan favorite among many Dragon Ball fans.
Isn't that saga the longest in Dragon Ball? And it's also a saga, so it's encapsulating more than one arc.
Like anime or manga, like made like a tournament.
Well, the issue with Dragon Ball is that sagas and arcs are very muddled.
Because the you could is like because what is the saga? Because
Well,
is it just
Dragon
after the tournament onward when the Red Ribbon Army base, or is it
I
like
I'm pretty sure in normal Dragon Ball and Z arcs are just sagas in general or something. I would have to look that up. Give me a second.
then one makes arcs in Dragon Ball? That's also something you could imply. Could say
Roger
we're going with
Mass.
sagas. Why not just say the arcs? Whatever.
Is this the show?
Where the hell?
Uh,
Yo,
okay, that's weird.
Is it
Yeah,
show?
there are multiple sagas, yes, comprised of arcs. I didn't know that because they were so basic. I did not know that are considered different arcs. This, for example, the Son Goku saga, which is the first 45 chapters of Dragon Ball, is the Emperor Pilaf arc and the Tournament arc.
All right. And what is the next chapter? I mean, the next arc after those two.
The the next arc is the Red Ribbon Army arc, which is the first arc of the Red Ribbon Army saga.
Then what's the arc after that?
General Blue.
I I thought so, but I, well, whatever.
It's a bit confusing.
Now, some people are saying like some dude just decided Yu Yu Hakusho. They crossed Yu Yu Hakusho and it was like Dragon Ball. The first of the answers like what was the first tournament arc?
Isn't isn't Yu Yu younger than Dragon Ball?
I don't know. You asked this person.
I'm just going back to the video. Forget consistency. Forget remembering stuff.
Kajiwara's Ashita no Joe,
Ashita no Joe. I'm looking that up since I'm not gonna remember that freaking name, Ashita.
the most fearsome villains of the show. Even though Dragon Ball
The timeline with something like Ashita no Joe, then Kinnikuman, then Dragon Ball with the list on arcs, and Shonen that had tournament arcs. I don't know how true it is, but that's what I saw.
All right.
20 volumes. That's pretty decent. Alright, but what's it in English? Tomorrow's Joe. Whatever, tomorrow's Joe.
Z is still technically no doubt a need of the whole world and even the youthful from under the guidance of martial arts master Muten. One where he showed and he decisions. It says in page so the charm saga. Now, I know this isn't normally a fan favorite among many Dragon Ball fans, and some even consider it to be their least favorite saga, but I absolutely love it. Here's why.
What? Why do is
That's an incredibly bad point to if you want to argue it's a perfect shown.
also how does this saga get a bad rep? And well, he says it does, but I actually kind of believe that since it has actual comedy and action mixed together, probably the best.
Where it's not surprising, honestly, that it's the least favorite of many people.
Not
That
to
Dragon Ball only has three of them, so one has to be the least favorite one.
You could say the general blue part lasted for too long. You could say there's some plot points that doesn't get resolved. But the overall saga, I would say, might be the strongest in all of Dragon Ball. And I meant the manga run. If I count of like Super and like GT, then I gotta rethink that. Because it definitely has the least amount of plot contrivance. And I'm still referring to saga. This is why I don't go by saga. I go by arcs because we gotta encapsulate multiple arcs, and it's not like two arcs makes a saga. No, it's the set number of arcs in said saga. It gets a little vague, but I guess that's me.
After losing the first World Martial Arts Tournament, Goku sets out to find the 4-star Dragon Ball, and in his pursuit, he encounters an army called Red Ribbon who are also trying to find the Dragon Balls supposedly for evil purposes. And what Toriyama does is separate this major saga into mini-sagas. The Muscle Tower mini-saga where Goku has to defeat each foe in each level,
What
having
is
foes that are so confident
Yes.
mini? I have no idea what he's talking about.
Couldn't this just be the? Wait, you mean the arc?
No, he is saying Muscle Tower Mini Saga, but none of the four arcs of the saga is called that.
Could
It's the four arcs of the Red Ribbon Saga are Ribbon Army, General Blue, Commander Red, and Fortune Teller Baba. Those are the four arcs.
but he
What's a
said
mini
mini
saga?
saga. So he just. All right. The arc you said. What was the first arc?
Red Ribbon Army.
Red
The
Ribbon.
same name as the saga.
And this saga, this arc has uh, General
I'll just pause it
Silver,
into the
General
chat.
Silver, and then Muscle Tower, then Pilaf, and this is out of order. It also has Ox King again with Chi Chi. That section, but specifically this mini arc of Muscle Tower. Even though you just scraped off a load of content before, what min? What's a mini saga?
That's a really weird term.
First, I think it's the first time I ever heard mini saga. But then is it saga arc then mini arc? Mini saga? Is that what he's saying? Because this is such a smaller section of time that he's using rather than the arc itself that I just described. So, I don't know. Forget it.
in their abilities, but also brilliantly clumsy. The General Blue mini-saga where Goku has to defeat each foe in each level, having foes that are so confident in their abilities, but also brilliantly clumsy. The
Or
So,
he just
so maybe the Muscle Tower mini saga is what's on the side I use is called the Red Ribbon arc. So with mini saga, he is actually meaning arcs.
but he just skipped over the Silver, Ox King, and Chi Chi parts, plus the return of Pilaf. But he just
No, he did not skip over that, I think, because it's not part of that.
is not.
It doesn't seem so.
Not in, not.
It's Red Ribbon Army or apparently Muscle Tower, General Blue, Commander Red, and then Fortune Teller Baba.
Oh,
Apparently that's something that happens like in one chapter of that arc or something.
or then why is he calling this a mini saga? I just confused the hell out of myself.
It's really written, but he apparently means arc.
Uh, Whatever.
General Blue mini-saga where we are introduced to General Blue and his cunning intellect, but also how he steals each scene with pure charisma. How it even mixes both Dragon Ball with Akira Toriyama's previous work, Dr. Slump, and Witness Aral beats General Blue in the most comedic way. And then the Tonpai Pai.
All right. Oh, I'm not. I'm not. Oh, one thing at a time. He said so little about Muscle
Where
Tower.
Goku has to defeat each foe in each level, having foes that are so confident in their abilities, but also brilliantly clumsy.
And I'm pretty sure he just means Murasaki about the quote unquote clumsy part, since pretty much everyone else was just ready to kill Goku right there and then. And Major Metallico had no personality. I'm just saying he's just being very incompetent with the arc description. Also, didn't say anything about Ader, but hey, who cares? It's short
The
ass
General Blue
video.
mini-saga where we are introduced to General Blue and his cunning intellect, but also how he steals each scene with pure charisma. How it even mixes both Dragon Ball with Akira Toriyama's previous work, Dr. Slump, and Witness Aral beats General Blue in the most comedic way. And then the Tonpai Pai mini-saga.
Official name: Commander Red Mini Saga.
Yeah, that's the
Just
arc after that. Yeah, so
he
he's meaning
just
the arcs.
he just straight up did not even call it the right arc.
I
That's
mean that's why I was confused in the beginning because he apparently screwed up the Muscle Tower arc name as well without correcting himself.
this guy's not that good.
Where a fearsome foe is introduced and full-on murders characters and place our main character in actual peril. This is the first moments of the show where the stakes are elevated and make us care more for our protagonist. With little to no time, Goku, through his sheer
He killed one guy on screen, one named character on screen, I should say. But wasn't General White in the Muscle Tower mini saga practically was enslaving an entire town? So I guess
Could
that
be
wasn't. I guess that wasn't.
important enough.
Also, he was about to explode Ader if he didn't follow commands and kill Goku. Whatever. You just
willpower ultimately becomes stronger and is able to finally defeat Tonpai Pai. And becomes
also
stronger, power, to no time, Goku, through his sheer willpower, ultimately becomes stronger and full-on murders characters and place our main character in actual peril. This is the first moments of the show where the stakes are elevated and make us care more for our protagonist. With little to no time, Goku, through his sheer willpower, ultimately becomes stronger and is able to finally defeat Tonpai Pai. And the culmination of this saga.
no. He just lied. He lied there. He just climbed Corin Tower, which itself was a testament to both his strength and his training. He didn't say anything there. Then he drank from uh the holy water. The, I forget what it's called. Drank from the water, which was a trap. Corin said about the climbing the tower bits, which was his actual strength. And then he gave him the Nimbus back. Right? No, no, no. He gave him a new Nimbus, right? I'm going off the anime since I remember him getting a new Nimbus.
I don't remember.
Yeah. Point being, he just straight up lied. Or maybe not lied. He just didn't give any context into what actually happened in the arc. The mini saga, not arc.
Is Goku attacking head-on the Red Ribbon Army base, and he outright demolishes stronger and is able to finally defeat Tonpai Pai. And the culmination of this saga is Goku attacking head-on.
So you're not gonna name this part of the saga? Oh, this mini saga. What do you just call it an arc? Just call it by the arc's name. I'm not even. It's not even that confusing since I watched Dragon Ball, but just based off his words alone, he's already making this way too confusing.
On the Red Ribbon Army base, and he outright demolishes everyone in order to retrieve the Dragon Balls and puts a stop to their evil undoing. And after one last quest to find the last Dragon Ball, you have two incredibly heartfelt moments that makes this whole journey feel so fulfilling. Upa's father finally being resurrected and seeing Upa's emotional reaction, but also Goku reuniting momentarily with his grandpa, showcasing Goku's emotional vulnerability for the first time. How he is still just an innocent child. How lonely must have felt all that time without the person who took care of him.
He was always childlike. He just showed Goku crying. Why needed that scene to say, wait, he's an actual person? I mean, sure, characterization in Dragon Ball is bad. 3 characters actually got characterization, I would say. Well, if I want to go by the entirety of Dragon Ball, I would say Krillin, maybe? Krillin, Gohan, Roshi, Tien, Piccolo, and Vegeta. And maybe Boo? I guess those have some sort of character conflict. Especially Tien and Vegeta. And well, I guess I'm going by character conflict. Only 3 characters has that. Whatever the rest. It was just one scene of Goku crying. It was good, but that's it. That's all you really get until the Super Saiyan moments. Not to mention people dying and then coming back. Well, that's a different topic. Whatever. I'm saying this is a relatively shallow moment.
Also Goku reuniting momentarily with his grandpa, showcasing Goku's emotional vulnerability for the first time. How he is still just an innocent child. How lonely.
I also say that because he's saying the exact same things that they said in the moments. I think Bulma said something about after everything Goku has done, they forgot that he's just a kid. So that's why I'm saying he's just copying off of a line in the actual manga/anime.
Lonely must have felt all that time without the person who took care of him. This is how you mix a serious story and add so much charm to it. There are so many obstacles that Goku has to go.
Also, that scene would Like I said, this arc has the least amount of plot contrivance, but that's a pretty, not plot, but a pretty big one since Goku never even reminisced on Gohan until once with Roshi, and the other one, maybe not even with Roshi, just the Ox King. He doesn't really mention Gohan. So, whatever.
Go through so many different villains, so many different adventures, both with Goku alone or with Krillin and Bulma, and each villain is more threatening than the next, all without losing sight of what makes Toriyama's stories so engaging, that each character, in their own ways, are able to be so unique and appealing. Unfortunately, the original anime version drags this out a lot with filler and a lot of waiting moments, which ruins its pacing a great deal.
No.
So if the enemy clogged that is up with filler and ruins the pacing, it's not the perfect shonen anime, now is it?
Correct.
So he just kind of disproven his entire premise.
Unless he goes the route of a perfect anime is an anime that has enough faults to call itself nuance. No, wait a minute. That's a perfect society is one with faults. That's not really similar. Never mind. Then we're going with the part of what makes things perfect. So, also the filler bits elevate Dragon Ball. But hey, what do I know? It's not like I watched the thing. It's not like I watched the thing.
This out a lot with filler and a lot of waiting moments, which ruins its pacing a great deal.
Oh, please give me an example. I want to know these waiting moments.
Unlike the manga, where it always gets straight to the point. How Toriyama is able to weave wonderfully its charm with its seriousness. And in the next World Martial Arts, weave one.
Oh, he doesn't show it unless these are supposed to be. These are supposed to be the examples.
Well, no, those are the counter examples where it's without the waiting moments in the manga, but he doesn't show the counterpoint in the anime where there's filler beside it, apparently.
Showing here, it just shows Goku busting up a chopper or some sort of aircraft, and then General Red and Commander Black getting informed about.
Where it always gets straight to the point.
And then he flash cuts here, which is very unfair since it's just one panel from one page of one.
How Toriyama.
Was this scene dragged out? Was it dragged out? Or was it dragged out in a bad way? Let me add that. Is it dragged out and or was it dragged out in a bad way? Is that what he's trying to say? It being dragged out is bad? Cause comedic tension could be elevated with, more time rather than just one panel or one page of the joke. Whatever. It's not even being specific when being specific.
Is able to weave wonderfully its charm with its seriousness. And in the next World Martial Arts Tournament saga, its charm.
And here. He shows Goku pouring the tea into Murasaki's mouth. It's not being specific. Is it just a snap? Goku has the tea and it's pouring into his mouth? Or did Goku have to get it? Was there a transitioning scene with Goku getting the teapots?
He's not really explaining it really well what he means.
If I remember this correctly. Whatever. I say if I remember this correctly. I don't want to say anything false.
With its seriousness. And in the next World Martial Arts Tournament.
Showed Tao Pai Pai getting punched. Not really saying anything. Because this guy sucks.
Wonderfully its charm with its seriousness. And in the next World Martial Arts Tournament saga, this is also shown superbly with the arrival of Tenshinhan and Chaozu as Goku's and Krillin's new rivals. How you have a fight between Krillin and Chaozu, which ends with Krillin winning because Chaozu doesn't know how to do math, which also shows how innocent and gullible this new rival can be. But also how serious it can be when Tenshinhan questions his teachings of his master.
No, that was a comedy moment. It was supposed to be a funny moment for Krillin. And Chaozu does nothing else for the rest of the franchise. Oh, except get himself dead. Twice. So, I got nothing to say for Chaozu. That was just something that happens. It doesn't really elevate or detract from Chaozu. It was just a thing that happened with him.
How to do math, which also shows how innocent and gullible this new rival can be.
Yeah. Also, is the secondary character. Toriyama usually does secondary characters, even with in Doctor Slump, with Rayleigh and the Gachins, Poir for Goku. Oh, I mean Poir for Yamcha, Oolong for Goku, really, or maybe Oolong for Bulma, and then Turtle for Roshi. You know, the comedic duo. He always has to have the comedic duo, if you guys didn't notice that. So, I forgot Chaozu's name for a moment there. Chaozu is Tien's comedic second. Also, Tien's single ab line.
Be, but also how serious it can be when Tenshinhan questions his teachings of his master and decides to let it all go, because all he wants is to become the Earth's strongest fighter, just like Goku, and both face off in the final.
That is also not what happened. He was... God, what happened? Was it because he was soft? Great, now well, I don't remember the scene, so you may be right, but I don't think that's what happened in that arc or mini saga.
Rival can be, but also how serious it can be when Tenshinhan questions his teachings of his master and decides to let it all go, because all he wants is to become the Earth's strongest fighter, just like Goku, and both face off in the final through beautiful animation, almost like visual poetry. How Goku's goal...
Right. Tien wanted revenge for Tao Pai Pai, for Crane Hermit, Shen, or was it Hero? Whatever. The Crane Hermit. And then Chaozu was told to interrupt the fight with giving Goku stomach problems. Tien noticed it. And then told, I forgot Chaozu's name again. Chaozu does not do that telepathically. Shen says something along the lines of says something like, do what you're told. He snaps at Shen, Crane Hermit, and then decides to fight Goku fairly. I believe that's what happened.
And Tenshinhan's arc culminates incredibly well in this moment, not only thematically, but also visually. I remembered it.
Well, what's the theme of this arc? None? Alright. Also visually? Oh, now we're praising the animation? We're not on that segment yet.
being one of the best fights, but it could also be an instance where our memories make it seem better than it actually was. But when I rewatched this recently, I was blown away by how good it actually is. How each drawing, each movement, each punch had such fluidity in them. How you even see more damage occurring in their faces in the same shot.
Proceeds to show that, alright, yeah, that's what happened. He had bruises on his face, fade in. That is what happened. But that's literally every other fight in Dragon Ball. So, why is that a plus for Tien's fights? With Goku specifically.
In a way, it makes me miss the style and direction of animation in the 80s and 90s, how this was prevalent not only here, but throughout the entire anime, both Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z. It truly was a time where 2D hand-drawn animation was reaching its peak, and Toei Animation
Just one franchise does animation pretty well is when it reached its peak. Not like a couple of animation, not a certain time in Japanese animation, not like a specific month or year. No, just Dragon Ball elevated animation so highly. Freaking sucking this franchise's balls. Also, I've been the one speaking. I'm a little anxious because of that notion.
were masters at that, where you could almost see the touch of the pencil enhance every moment and really feel the tension in each scene thanks to amazing storyboarding and direction. Because it's not about animating everything, it's about choosing what should be animated to fit in the direction of the show, of what should be and shouldn't be shown. And this can be found in almost every major fight in the series, including this one, accentuating action but also focusing on each character's struggles, what each want to achieve, culminating with Goku's unexpected defeat. How we feel sad that our main character would
Gives no examples. Just no examples.
still not yet reach the title of Earth's Strongest Fighter, but also happy to see Tenshinhan turn over a new leaf and develop as a character. All done through some of the best animation and direction the series has offered us. And from this point on, the show would start to change as a whole, where the drama would become the main focus and the charm and comedy would become more and more in the background, where Dragon Ball would set the stage for what it eventually becomes in Dragon Ball Z. And this is with the unexpected death of Krillin. This has to be, without a doubt, one of the most impactful moments in the show. You can see in Goku's face how distraught he is by this, how he wants to avenge the death of his beloved friend, the person who he trained with.
Really?
Okay, I'm back. Sorry about that. It's very far. Sorry about that.
Right now he's just doing... Wait, what do you mean right now? He's just been synopsising.
Yeah.
While trying to make a point.
For so long, someone who he created a deep friendship with. All because there was a new foe that enters the scene that ups the stakes in a way we haven't come across before. And when Goku tries to avenge his friend, he almost loses his life not just once, but twice. But it doesn't end here. Both Muten Roshi and Chaozu, while trying to save the world, also die for nothing. The old wise master and the good-hearted young kid were now dead. Gone, and makes us
How old is Chaozu? How can you say he's a kid? He could be the same age as Tien.
Just a bit like a man child. I mean,
His age is pretty implied, especially with Goku still looking the same after like 4 or 5 years. Whatever.
feel in a way we haven't yet felt before. 3 major characters that we love and adore have suddenly died. All because of the fearsome villain Piccolo Daimao. This is by far Goku's biggest obstacle yet. One that feels
So currently, Piccolo isn't too dissimilar to Red. It was just that Piccolo himself was physically stronger than Red. Both of them just wanted, world domination, It's just that Piccolo is a demon. And
And spat out an egg of his younger of like a younger version of himself, right?
yeah, he
Oh, am I getting that
just
right?
yes,
He no, he didn't reincarnate. He didn't reincarnate himself into a an egg. He made a new version of himself.
he reincarnated as Piccolo Jr., our current Piccolo. Well, at least that's what's been said. I'm not certain how that works, but that's what's been said.
Was almost impossible to overcome, especially when Piccolo wishes for his youth and becomes even stronger than before. He is such a threat that right after he makes his wish, he immediately kills Shenron and the Dragon Balls turn into stone. Yes, we know later in the story that the dragon would be brought back to life, bringing back the Dragon Balls and all of our dear friends, but at the time, nobody thought this was even possible. We felt like these
Peon, are you here?
Yes, I'm here.
There was a rule, right? There's a rule for like the Dragon Balls. What was it? It was like the
You can't be wished back twice, and
Yeah.
you can't go beyond the power of the creator, which is Kami. A wish that goes beyond the power of the creator, which is Kami. You can't
grave.
wish anything beyond the power of Shenron's creator, which is Kami.
Okay.
Uh, no. I'm referring to the video. When I say no, no, that is not true. There was literally one guy that was revived before this scene, so we knew for a fact that this was possible. We just didn't know that, the Dragon Balls could be brought back.
beloved characters, time, nobody thought this was even possible. We felt like these beloved characters were actually gone for good, and it really made you fear this villain. So, when you watch Goku go through all of his
He could have just said, since the dragon was destroyed, it, it felt like you couldn't bring back these characters.
There's no do over. They're gone.
But not only is it the first time they died, we know for a fact that they can be brought back with the Dragon Balls. It's been shown. He could have just said the dragon dying is what makes the scene so strong. But he didn't say that. Unless that's what he was trying to say and failed.
hardships and finally defeat Piccolo, it feels like such a victory. How even in the last moments of the fight, it made us believe that Goku would lose again, almost powerless, until he is able to deliver the final punch. Goku, who almost died against him, who had to go to the depths of the world to become stronger again, comes back and avenges everyone in one of the most iconic moments of the show. But this wouldn't stop here. At the brink of death, Piccolo Daimao spits out an egg, one that would give birth to his reincarnation as Piccolo Jr., who would become far stronger. Goku would still have to face this evil foe, and that would be during the final of the third and last World Martial Arts Tournament saga, where our main protagonist had grown both physically and mentally as a person and a fighter. This is where we really get to know Goku's character and fully understand his motivations. During the final of this tournament, with Piccolo Jr. destroying and devastating everything around him and mentally as a person and a fighter.
Wait, what?
This is where we really get to know Goku's character and martial arts tournament saga.
What, Namek?
We fully get Goku's character. I'm pretty sure he said.
Yes.
We fully understand his goals, even though I feel like his goals was quite clear, and I don't think it really changed. Like
did not
it just
change.
stopped. It's just the same thing. Stop Piccolo. Now Piccolo Jr.
And he always has aspirations of getting stronger.
Really changed.
Become
Nothing
far
changed.
stronger. Goku would still have to face this evil foe, and that would be during the final of the third and last World Martial Arts Tournament saga, where our main protagonist had grown both physically.
He says saga, but this is literally only one arc in this saga, so just call it an arc, which he never calls anything an arc, which is very weird.
That's pretty
and
weird.
mentally.
He only got stronger physically. He's still the same Goku. He's very much the same Goku.
As a person and a fighter. This is where we really get to know Goku's character and fully understand his motivations.
Which is the same.
Which is wrong. Nothing.
We already have known his freaking goals.
He doesn't change at all in the time skip, which is what he wants to say. But he's too much of a coward to say it. Or just doesn't know what the hell a time skip is. He's just lying. He doesn't change at all. He just got stronger.
Just strong, that's it.
This is where we really get to know Goku's character and fully understand his motivations. During the final of this tournament, with Piccolo Jr. destroying and devastating everything around him, with everyone fearing him immensely, Goku mainly wants one thing. Rather than just wanting to save the world, what he really wants is to become the strongest fighter on the planet, to fulfill all of his arduous training, having overcome every obstacle in his path to achieve this moment, and having...
Hey, pause, spot. Didn't he say this when he talked about freaking Tenzin? Or what
Yeah,
was his name?
Tien.
Yeah, Tien. Didn't he talk about how Goku had this motivation with Tien?
Yes.
Like how he wanted to be the strongest, just like Goku or something?
Yeah. Tien and Goku also wanted to be the strongest on Earth, yeah.
Oh yeah, you're right. There is no problem.
No problem at all. Also, we didn't bring up Kami. Or, the aliens.
Or the fight with his wife. Well, soon to be wife.
Yeah,
But I guess that's not thematically important enough.
Yeah, it doesn't help with Goku's themes and personality.
That's just Chi Chi wanting to with Goku.
Doesn't do anything at all. Not like
Such an
not like it was some
Goku
sort
is
of
such a
setup or anything.
yeah.
that within grasp. What he truly wants is this, to fight against the strongest and succeed. This is Son Goku's ultimate passion, and in order to do that, he would have to fight and beat Piccolo Jr. in the final of this tournament. How the two types of sagas, both the villain and the tournament saga, become one and the same.
What? Peon? What's the other saga?
Let me look it up. In the last one,
I'm confused with this saga
Last
thing.
two
Well,
sagas?
you mean the mini sagas or the actual sagas?
See, why couldn't you just... Let me just play that back.
He would have to fight and beat Piccolo Jr. in the final of this tournament. How the two types of sagas, both the villain and the tournament saga...
Okay, you said two types of sagas. What the hell does that mean? What does he mean,
Ich,
type of saga?
I have no idea what he means.
Of saga.
He's just saying stuff. Because I thought he
Yeah,
meant
I
something
really
like...
don't know what he means by type of saga.
I think he meant two sagas. But then he said two types of sagas, which makes no sense. Because I thought it was referring to, like, the one-on-one... the last part of the tournament is the quote-unquote Piccolo saga. And the beginning part was the 25th Tenkaichi. But it's still the same arc, quote-unquote saga. And apparently there's two types.
become one and the same here. And Goku, after one of the hardest fights he has ever had to face, showcased again with beautiful animation, is able to defeat Piccolo Jr. and finally become Earth's strongest fighter. Goku's arc...
I would say Demon King Piccolo was the harder fight.
3 people died. Oh yeah, actually, yeah, the Demon Piccolo. Yeah, three people died. Krillin didn't die again in the fight with this one, right?
Did
No
you
one
say
really died.
harder because Piccolo destroyed the entire city on that island? Is that why you said it was
But did
harder?
anybody die?
Unless shit, that's a good point. Cause if the attack actually worked, then everyone else on the island should be dead. Unless I'm remembering that wrong, and it was only the tournament sites. Everyone evacuated from the tournament site, but it reached the entire island. So
Like, Krillin looks bruised up. Like, is that from the blast?
yes, it has to be.
Hmm.
Also, we didn't talk about the contestants in the tournaments, which I'm not
You
giving this guy.
certainly have not.
He just doesn't want to say anything good with the actual sagas.
Like I said before, with the fight with Chi Chi and all stuff, it's like, hey, remember me? Whoa, Chi Chi?
Yeah, he gets to see Chi-Chi again. Doesn't bring that up.
Whoa, what was it? It was like, if you beat me, I will be your wife or something.
If you, if I beat you, then you'll marry me, or something like that.
Oh yeah, that makes more sense. That makes more sense.
Has ended.
And like,
He has become what he has always wanted to be. The theme set out in the first tournament now reaches its
Hey!
climatic moment.
hey, how's
Hey,
that? He just said it. He just said it. It wasn't fully revealed in the freaking in this fight or whatever this arc. It was shown long ago. So why are you saying?
that he changed. Yeah,
Oh, this isn't good. This isn't good.
he literally
This is not good.
contradicted himself in this video. He
Broad
definitely.
daylight.
This guy did not reread this stuff, did he?
Goku's arc has ended. He has become what he has always wanted to be. The theme set out in the first tournament now reaches its climatic moment here. How the stakes have risen with each saga. How we have felt Goku struggle throughout a great portion of his life. How we see him going from an innocent and impulsive young boy to a calm and collected mature fighter.
No, he isn't. He's still the same Goku.
Common collected. He's not common
He just
collected because
became
he's.
aware. He became more aware.
Because in the end, like even with Z, no, because I don't think no Z wasn't the part where he was ruined because he still cared for his son. It was definitely around like probably Cell arc.
Probably.
Probably really, probably really ruined him. Like, hey, freaking Goku, that's your son out there. Come on,
But he's
think.
the only one strong enough to defeat Cell. But Goku, he doesn't want to fight. Oh, why wasn't I aware of that?
Maybe you didn't talk to your son. This green alien knows your son more than you. This freaking green pepper knows more than about your son than you.
And then whatever the hell's happening in Super, the anime specifically.
I got no
Goku,
idea what.
Goku, Goku is literally a stagnant character. Not a bad thing. He just
Not a bad thing.
he just does not change.
No, I feel like he does kind of change, like for the worse. Because he does become what a fight man. Especially the android arc. Remember where it's just like, I'm sorry, but I kind of want to fight these androids, even though they could have easily destroyed them. Not Tenten. Yeah, Tien, Vegeta, and Goku were like that. Whereas like Krillin, I'm pretty sure was like, nah, someone else. I'm pretty
True,
sure.
true.
Piccolo and like nah. I
Uh,
remember
I
that.
don't think he
So
said
it's definitely the android. Hmm. Sure, probably.
It's technically a part of their character, but it's definitely questionable since Goku
Definitely
does
questionable.
prioritize helping people out. And it's about helping his friends and then
Son could have been
fighting.
killed. Son
The,
could have been killed. he freaking hated the idea. He was like Piccolo, who's a piece of garbage at the time. It's just are you ready to fight this dude or whatever? It's like, no, my son. Then in the next one, again, he's like freaking in the Cell arc, the Android arc. Freaking like, sorry, I want to fight. And, like, this could actually kill everybody. And I'm pretty sure they were told that, like, from Trunks that, like, this is
Goku
super
died, yeah.
dangerous. And he's like, sorry, but I want to fight, even though we can literally change the future if we just destroy them right now.
Yeah, Goku definitely had his priorities mixed up there.
They also didn't really talk to his friends for like a hot years,
He doesn't do that ever, even in Dragon Ball.
It doesn't, know.
So
Yeah.
at least that's consistent. Friend safety, then fighting. That's usually what I see as his priorities.
Like, wouldn't it be good to like notify your friends where you are for like friend safety? Because they could like be super sick and worried.
Well, you think Goku can punch this illness away?
That's it. That's it. Goku has an illness. That's right. That's what we should say. Well, freaking this illness. I bet someone would probably be like,
I mean,
this major
from
flaw
its,
that Goku has, such a big flaw, but so good, or something like that.
referring to Trunks and Goku's heart virus, or
A heart virus. Oh yeah, that happened.
no, never mind then.
And how I feel this makes him so much more human. How he is not just doing it for everyone else. He is living his passion and doing whatever it takes to fulfill it.
He's
How it
always
teaches
been
us
like
to do
that.
the same. To also
That's not exactly a good thing either.
Yeah, wasn't he like he was devastated that his freaking Krillin was killed? It's just that makes him human.
But no, just following his ambitions and forgetting everything else. That what makes, you know what? That is very human. But that one idea doesn't just make him human.
Yeah, there's more things. Like maybe he's like, helping out Bulma in the beginning of the series. Not human. Being very kind, even though freaking shot him.
Didn't
That's
even
quite.
know. Didn't even know.
Oh, we're human. Freaking helping out the turtle. Well, Bulma's like, nah, and freaking Goku's like, yeah, I want to help this turtle out.
Yeah.
And he got and then he got because of that he was able to meet Master Roshi. Because of that he was pure of heart because of the freaking cloud.
He's always been nice. But him being selfish in this moment here, that's when he became human. Or at least more human.
Even though like
But he was
back
always
then
selfish.
he was quite human.
He was both selfish and selfless.
much more
He
human.
really did just
How
help
he
out
is
a
not a
turtle just for
mature
the sake of
fighter,
it.
going from an innocent
Well, he asked for help, and he obliged. I guess it's more of a. You can say it was him being young and naive and helping out people that just ask.
innocent and impulsive young boy to a calm and collected mature fighter, and how I feel this makes him so
Impulsive. No, I can't say he was ever impulsive. Well, at least any less impulsive when he grew up.
much more human. How he is not just doing it for everyone else.
Specifically in this time skip, he was definitely impulsive, but he just was a less after the the Roshi. Whatever. It was a small change. A small change.
I feel this makes him so much more human. How he is not just doing it for everyone else. He is living his passion and doing whatever it takes to fulfill it. How it teaches us to do the same. To also fight for our passions, to fall during that journey, but then rise again. To learn more, to try harder until we eventually succeed through sheer will, but also through immense patience. How this show impacted me and so many of you to do the same. To look
No one watches Dragon Ball. Who are you referring to?
Not me, because like I definitely watched GT when I was young, but later on, it's just like I just saw other things. So
Yeah, no
Adventure
one
Time, if
watches.
anything, I was way more into Adventure Time regular show Avatar than freaking Dragon
Within.
Ball Z.
No one watches. No, he said Dragon Ball. He's referring specifically to Dragon Ball. No one watches
Oh,
Dragon Ball.
and when it came out, you got some few when actually people watch it, but then the anime for us is just like, oh, no Dragon Ball for us. Let's get that Dragon Ball Z. Forgot
This show
there's someone who said like you should. It's fine to just watch Dragon Ball Z instead of Dragon Ball, like in order. Like you don't have to watch Dragon Ball if you don't want to. Even though
Said
it's like a,
something
like
about Dragon Ball Z being such a good story
hey,
that you can just miss the entirety of Dragon Ball and still enjoy it.
I mean, part 4 is amazing in JoJo, but come on, you gotta know the freaking beginning parts. Part 6 is great. Part 4, still, I still freaking watched. I watched slash read that. Well, I watched part 5 and read part 6. I do. I
But
went so hard on part 6.
Dragon Ball doesn't really have a story. That's why it's quote unquote fine to start in the Z section or the Z anime.
Like you got the characters and all. It's
how
just
this
like
show
you actually
impacted
know
me
these
and
characters.
so many of you to do the same, to look within, to really push ourselves in a way to exceed what we thought was humanly possible and achieve what we want. And Goku is the personification of that. So, how do you take this further, when this is clearly such a great ending to his character and story? Well, it is to up the stakes even more.
You have a good old mini saga, an actual mini saga, not whatever the hell he said about a mini saga, an actual section of the story that is relatively small and has many parts into it with Chi Chi and whatever. Oh, but filler bad though, so we don't talk about that.
Even though filler was definitely helping Dragon Ball Z, especially when Toriyama was just like, yo, freaking like minimal stuff like that freaking scene of Vegeta looking up in the sky with rain. That is filler. Backstory for Trunks, more backstory and like more stuff about the past with Trunks and Cell. Filler. What other stuff? There's gotta be there's another one where it's like really
Filler
important
bad,
and it was just
bro,
filler.
bro, bro. Filler bad.
Dude, there's points where it's just like I want to kind of watch some of the filler in Black Clover, you know.
Not just become Earth's greatest fighter, but become the strongest fighter in the universe, which is what Akira Toriyama ends up doing in the next sagas, shown in the continuation of the manga and in the anime titled Dragon Ball Z. But, with all its seriousness, drama and stakes, I cannot help but miss what made the show and manga really unique in the beginning. Watching Goku go on an adventure with Bulma,
Better or not? Is the right word? Better. Something.
It was gonna be Doctor Slump 2.0, but people really like the action.
And then later on, it just became just like great. It just didn't have anything else. The substance of kind.
Action. Yeah, it lost practically all substance.
to find all 7 Dragon Balls and meeting the likes of Yamcha, Puar, and Oolong, watching him train with his new friend Krillin under the teachings of Muten Roshi, watching him go through
It was a rival at first for like 3 episodes, but whatever.
that first tournament and fight against Muten Roshi in the final, and then culminating in both the Red Ribbon Army and the second World Martial Arts Tournament sagas, when you could really feel the heart of the show, to see all of these characters meet, to be able to connect with them, to feel for them during certain moments, but also laugh at Akira Toriyama's imaginative comedic writing. How we would never truly see this beautiful mix in Dragon Ball ever again, apart from some minor moments. And that's okay. Dragon Ball needed to become more serious, to have
It needed to.
Did it? Did
It-
it need
it did
to?
not.
It was serious, but it's had comedic effect.
It did just remove the comedy. It didn't need to be. Toriyama just straight up removed the comedy.
They didn't. You that they. it never needed to just stop.
The comedy was good, you said. So then why did they need to remove it?
Minor moments, and that's okay. Dragon Ball needed to become more serious, to have all of those iconic villains and transformations we would later come
You
across.
still have comedy. It's just
Just
maybe not comedy in there. Like tonal. Like not make a oh crazy crap with like the tone.
yeah, the Ginyu Force weren't really comedic. They were just kind of funny. I mean, you can be kind of funny and still not be called a comedy, right? So, he's saying to remove the comedy from Dragon Ball, we wouldn't have gotten Frieza, Cell, or Super Saiyan, which is not true since the Ozaru form was a transformation.
Would
What?
you look at that?
Would you look at that? Uh, it being serious kind of backfired on itself. If anything, it being more serious made it have more plot inconsistencies.
Imagine freaking JoJo just being serious out the gate. What would part 4 be? It's like part 3, freaking Dio and all that crap, and then part 4 is just like super, still serious, absolutely, but
Just
way like at the
let
beginning parts, it's just some pieces messing with Koichi's family, all that stuff.
no comedy, all action.
Even
Just
though it's like that Ricky in about freaking part 5, where it's just so boring. Kira's so interesting. Oh my god. It's like, but remember the time about freaking that we played rock paper scissors and just complain about that. It's like those are good stuff.
it's just not
Even that, like
it's
even
not
that kid was
serious.
freaking that kid. Yeah, it was serious, but he was still like very comedic. Well, very fun.
It's a funny
Annoying. He was annoying Brad, and then like just seeing freaking Rohan freaking gloat, freaking be so big up when he beats a child in rock paper scissors, and freaking Josuke, Yukiko, and Okuyasu just hate seeing him act like this in front of a child. That's great. That's really funny, and it's like it shows his character.
but it's not
It's
serious.
good.
It's not mature. I think that's what we all
Uh,
forget it.
and I remember Bricky talking about how uh talking about how Death Note and Black Lagoon are good because it's like super dark and mature or whatever. And that's why even like gave part 5 is great because it's just mature. So dark, so violent or
People
whatever.
die. Ooh. Yeah, we kill people. Real people. We're straight
They were,
gangsters and the
yeah,
such.
I mean, it could have been good.
To see things taken to the next level, to see Goku and others push themselves even further, to become the most loved anime of that era and introduce
No. And no. And please don't say what I think you're gonna say.
push themselves even
That's
further.
good.
How much further can one be pushed when you literally defeat
Even
the world?
further beyond.
They defeat the world, and then the universe is strongest. How farther can you go? When is enough? And their character arc can just end after Chi-Chi and Goku got hitched.
Yeah, he absolutely could have just ended just before it got too much. The
We
Frieza arc be a good ending?
we didn't need these quote unquote iconic transformations. It happened because money.
Yeah. People spit and
To
clap.
become the most loved, see
I
Goku
love just saying spit and clap. I don't know why. That's really funny to me.
Preferably
Because it's just like it gives you the idea of, like a child. Instead of just they're clapping, no, they're spitting and clapping.
the exact mindset you have when indulging in Dragon Ball content. especially Z. I have not been paying attention to you, sir. I'll read a few bits of your. I'm referring to you, Meme Spice, if you said anything. Uh, if villain wants to become stronger, should we cheer for them as well? No, we shouldn't cheer for them. Uh, because of the bad guy. If the bad guy becomes stronger, that's bad. No matter what reason.
I mean,
Freaking.
this is the thing I always like doing. Is just like put like a meter, like put the meter like as a kid. Like no, for character, like rating them as a character and rating them as like a human being. Where it's like this person is a horrible being, but I love him, like Kira or something.
Yeah, I see what you mean. Yeah, I also forgot he was talking about the actual quality of the anime, because he did not say anything good about it.
Which is
Goku and
synopsis.
others pushed themselves even further to become the most loved anime of that era and introduce to us all other types of anime. How the
No. No!
manga and series
My voice is very raspy, but
I
you
mean,
understand what I meant to say. That's just.
freaking Deku, like I can't think of a single thing that they're close to, unless you're talking about them being good and nice and everything. But Deku's a smart dude.
He's
Like,
completely opposite from Goku.
I mean, there's a few things, absolutely, like just like how like oh they're good, they want to be a good person. Like,
Goku doesn't want to be a good
freaking
person.
Deku, well, at the time before. Because he wanted to be a good father. You could tell
He
because he
doesn't
was
want to be a
upset that his
good
father.
father.
Oh,
He's just.
until
He's.
you know what I mean. It's just like bad stuff over bad. Because again, you get moments where he's like, I'm devastated that my freaking son is captured by Raditz, and it's like I'm gonna power up. I'm gonna replenish freaking Cell, and then let him fight freaking uh Cell,
Gohan.
freaking Gohan. Yeah. It's
Yeah,
like
that's
I
just
didn't
that's
know
just a
that.
that's just a character change.
A bad one.
A bad one. They just wanted the story. I always see it as Goku cares about his companions the most, then fighting is a very close second. But right
Man,
there, he
you, you,
cared
you
about
could say they're
finding
quite
more
similar
than,
because people
his
keep talking
actual
about like Edgy
son
Deku.
surviving.
I haven't hit that point with my hero with like Edgy Deku.
But as I was trying to say, Dragon Ball did not
Bad things
succeed.
about it, like it's like it
Dragon Ball did not succeed so that other anime could also happen. Dragon Ball happened and then other things happened. Dragon Ball
yeah.
is not good.
Uh,
It, it,
Dragon Ball happened, and you know what also happened? Depot happened, JoJo happened, One Piece happened. Just better
well,
stuff.
actually, JoJo was before Dragon Ball, so JoJo happened, then Dragon Ball happened.
I'm pretty sure even ALX like when they reacted to this video, they even talked about how at the moment where the Cell Saga happened, it was part 4, right? And it was just like, and I was just like, whoa, really? Like I haven't fully checked it, but I'm pretty sure that's the case. When was when was frickin' part 4 made? When
Dragon Ball
was
did not do anything for those other animes. They quote unquote influenced it, but it could be for the
yeah,
better. It could be for the worse.
Yukiko. You think Yukiko was made by freaking Chichi or something? I don't think so.
It's just because it's popular and he
19
likes it. That's why he's
it was-
praising it so much.
I thought can JoJo Part 4 was made in 1999. Yes. I was like 1992, and then let's see, Dragon Ball.
1999, these are
I
summer.
it's like it's my favorite freaking opening in Dragon and JoJo. It could be
Nice.
beaten. It could be beaten.
Whatever,
I
let me
mean,
To
continue.
be honest, like none of
Goku
them.
and
I
others
would
pushed
say like
themselves
my
even
least favorite
further
are the
to become the
freaking
most
part
loved
5
anime of
ones,
that
and
era
yeah,
and
okay.
introduce to us
I actually
all
really
other
like
types
those.
of anime.
I haven't seen
Oh, all
uh
other types of anime.
what do you call it? Yu Yu Hakusho. I haven't seen Yu Yu Hakusho, but I've heard great things about it.
You said other types of anime, so he's not even referring to shonen. He's just referring to other genres.
Oh Jesus, heavens no!
And the
Is
most
freaking
loved
Fairy
anime.
Tail? Is freaking Fairy Tail a shonen? I'm pretty sure Fairy Tail is not shonen.
I think Fairy Tail is shonen.
Is it? Well, is it shonen like or is it shonen? Let me check. Shonen.
Of
Is it
that era
shonen?
and introduced to us all other types of anime. How the manga and series changed anime on a grand scale and would
Yeah, it's
define what
shonen. Never
shonen
mind.
anime is.
My bad. My bad.
And the innocence it used to
Shonen
have.
is?
Like it was shown.
Dragon Ball didn't do this. It did not do this. No one franchise can do this.
No. And
Freaking Slam Dunk. Wait, is that shonen? That's
Yes, it
definitely
is.
yeah, absolutely. How did freaking Dragon Ball do that? Or is it just basketball? How did it inspire that?
so this video is in essence.
Spy X Family. How was the Spy X Family inspired? Like, it's fairly well. Not saying it's fairly, well, it is can be a bit whack. What's the right word? A bit exaggerated, I guess. But then again, it's just like it's not really like superpower. It's just very skilled people. You got a telepath there, so you got something like
the
that.
quality of Dragon Ball's writing elevated anime so much that every other anime.
No, you can't. You cannot. You can't say that.
That's not
You
even
just
true.
that.
Dragon
You
Ball-
can't say that
Dragon Ball isn't
because you
even
just.
that good.
I know, like you gotta be saying that to every single shonen. This is the bull crap with the freaking female protagonist, whatever. So it's like, this is such a new standard. It's such a big thing to say. It's just like you're gonna have to try to give me a good argument on why this big thing that you're claiming is actually it. You can't convince me that Jujutsu Kaisen and Demon Slayer are like good female characters. Because, I like Nubra, I like the Butterfly Girl. Hey, I love Jolene.
There's always
These
something.
characters have it. I'm checking out Madoka Box. Main character, I will check it later. I'm
There's always
personally
something
reading
before
Epo and stuff.
you think is the first.
Always before.
There's
I
always something
always go
before
like this.
it.
That's why I don't feel like I should ever, no one should really say this type of stuff unless they've seen like so much. Not because like they've seen like 5 or whatever. I don't think I've seen like enough like 30 or freaking 40 mangas or whatever. And I don't even think I'm even worthy to say that. I don't think anybody is. Because even that's the thing. If you have seen so much manga, that means you wouldn't say these things because you know things
You know how
like great characters
bad
from
Dragon
females.
Ball is.
You would know there's other stuff that Dragon Ball did before or after, whatever,
Yes.
And certainly can like pinpoint like, okay, this didn't make this show happen. This didn't make this manga happen. What happened? Freaking Stands was inspired by Key? No way. Hamon was inspired by Key? What? I don't think so. That beard looks so weird on Goku. It looks a bit too edited on.
What?
The beard on Goku, you see that?
Oh, no, I'm just reading the comments and it's just nonsense.
For me, Dragon Ball is the best anime in the world. For me, he says it twice. For me, Dragon Ball Z is the best anime in the world. For me, the Portuguese version is the best. And have a special.
phrase.
Oh, it's quite short. I could barely see with my darn lazy eye.
It's freaking nonsense. What the hell is this? Never mind.
I'm proud of you. Your video is perfect. Oh no, you perfectly edit both video. Okay, I'm okay. Video and sound. I'm video okay, sound okay, but it's just like later on it's just like, wait, One Punch Man. Yeah, was One Punch Man and freaking
Captain Busted,
Mob
Chainsaw
Psycho
Man.
inspired by Dragon Ball.
I'm not looking at
With
the rest of
stuff,
this
with
stuff.
stuff that wasn't even
Jeez.
freaking
Namek, please be
full-fledged
quiet.
action. Oh,
Please.
sorry.
Shown in the first episode is something I
I went
will
on a
never
rant.
forget, and how it reminded me of the innocence I myself used to have. And in a way, I too, like Goku, would never really become that young boy again, the one that watched this show for the first time, the moment where anime began for me.
But how is it the perfect shonen?
I feel like I could make the same video about Adventure Time.
This is just Wemble synopsis, more Wemble.
Yes. And this part's.
Taken to the next level, to see Goku and others push themselves even further, to become the most loved anime of that era and introduce to us all other types of anime.
That's
To
pretty
you.
good.
All other types of
To
anime,
you.
even though there's other things out there that was made around the same time, even
It
before.
introduced it all to him because without Dragon Ball he would have never gotten into it. I guess what he's trying to say.
That is what he's
That's
saying.
the case.
That is
It's
what he's
fair
saying.
enough.
That is what he's trying to say. But he's trying to sound. He's trying to make Dragon Ball sound a lot bigger than it actually is.
Yeah, that's the problem. It's just like if he just said
Yeah,
this
no.
for me, okay. I you know what? I'll shut my mouth. I feel like I was kind of ranty. I was kind of being ranty because I feel like that I didn't contribute as I thought I would be able to until because I was busy with something else. Just wanted to make a rant about it. Sorry.
Yeah, this sucks. This man is dumbass and don't like Dragon Ball too hard. It's
Yo guys,
just fine.
freaking fairy tale inspired Black Clover. We
To
should.
talk about this film is to
Wait, what?
talk about something that is much deeper than what we see on the screen. Again, Hosoda manages to brilliantly depict what makes us love a film, the world of Japanese animation. Time to finally
Alright, I don't even like his animation. I mean, what he's doing. I don't like what he's doing. This guy's doing, and he's doing it bad.
Masterpiece.
This is. I don't. Why?
Insane fight scene. I mean, looks like he has more liking for towards freaking Yu Hakusho the Dragon Ball.
I can't believe I love Rent a Girlfriend. That's interesting.
Ooh, I haven't seen that. PG hates that. Share it to him right now. Share it to him right now.
Yes, sir. This guy has no concept of quality. No.
So good. Haikyuu. Oh, cool. Freaking DA. Now, BG and DA are quite vocal about that. About, like how it's really fine. It's whatever. They don't really see the greatness of it.
He has no concept of quality.
That's the thing. Like I like the first season of freaking Jujutsu Kaisen, but you will never hear me say that it's a masterpiece in its breaking genres. That's so stupid. Because there's other things that've done this before. I hate when people say that, and it's just like you're older than me. How are you saying this?
The totality of it all.
That freaking argument, that stupid argument with the freaking Jujutsu Kaisen versus Demon Slayer, and that girl being like Nubra, she's breaking the stereotype. It's like she's breaking the stereotype. Ma'am, you have not seen other things out there. I bet she thinks JoJo was like a recent series instead of like a super old series.
Yeah, it came out in the 2014.
Yeah, JoJo actually is coming out quite early. The next part's actually coming out. You know, there's no manga. Original storytelling.
It came out in like 2001.
Hello, friends. If you like money, this song is for you. Honey is the #1 shopping tool in the United States of America.
I hate your voice.
Hear me out. I'm not here to bash One Piece. In fact, One Piece is one of my
Well, no one's saying
favorite
anything,
anime
so I
series of
just
all
put this
time.
up.
I've been literally watching it since
Jesus
It's
Christ.
that one.
Please say that again. Things were happening.
I
Me?
said, oh no, it is this one.
It's
Yeah,
fine.
I basically said what he said. I was just like, oh, this video.
It's fine. I've seen this before. It's not that bad. It's
Like,
not.
okay, let's just be, let's I'm gonna say it.
It's not that bad. It's
I'm
not
gonna say
that
something
bad.
I'm gonna say something that no one has ever said. You know what? Nami might look like some characters. There might be some same face. Honestly, I'm surprised that no one has said this before. Anyway, let's just move on.
Great. So I've watched it through all of middle school,
Someone had to
high
say
school,
it.
all time.
Yeah, someone had to say it. It's there. I have
No one
evidence.
said no one said it. I know, right, guys?
It's not exactly a bad thing to say, but whatever.
Hear me out. I'm not here to bash
I'm
One
not.
Piece.
I'm not.
In
I
fact, One Piece is one of my favorite
people
anime
say a
series
lot.
of all time. I've been literally watching it since 6th grade, so I've watched it through all of middle school, high school, and at the trajectory we're going, probably college too. I say that to highlight I have a lot of love for this show, so I wouldn't want to just aimlessly hate on it. And even the best of shows have their flaws. And in this video, the flaw I'm going to talk about are the female character designs in One Piece.
How was this made in?
Something that I can say about the female characters
Aw.
compared to a lot of other shonen, and especially shonen of its time, is that when it comes to writing, the One Piece girls are extremely well developed. While Sakura's first defining moment is when she cuts her hair in a fight despite her crush supposedly preferring longer haired women,
Is it true what I heard? You like Sasuke too? So, I guess that
I
means
mean,
we're
I don't think
rivals
it's
from
that
now
bad.
on.
What? Huh?
I don't think it's that bad. You know, she's cut her hair. You know, I thought this definitely would have been better if she didn't pine over Sasuke for so long. You know, could say could just could have actually said something a bit more, like, oh, maybe she's cutting her hair, maybe she's focusing on being a ninja. But then, no, that doesn't happen. That does
What
not
are you trying to
happen.
say?
I'm just saying that. Look, I don't think this scene sucked. I feel like she's like trying to show that this scene sucked. I'm just trying to defend the scene. Then being like, yeah, I don't. I don't know. Maybe it's just the idea that people are saying that Sakura is useless or whatever. It's just in my mind.
Well, I haven't really seen Naruto, so I won't say anything.
Oh, okay.
It's not meant for you. What the?
Nami's is when she stabs at her captor's mark etched in her skin in anger, and when she finally turns to her friends to help her and her village.
I guess. Pretty big moment for Nami.
Look at that animation
Robin's moment.
quality.
Well, that's my favorite moment of the series. I feel like this can be partially attributed to the fact that One Piece has no romance or ships written into it. Therefore, the women can't be reduced to love interests for the male
No, it's
protagonists.
just fan
In fact,
service. That was just
That's just-
that was fan
That's just
service. Not
fans.
anything. Not any like uh relationships being built. Although, I'm not even gonna say anything because
No, but like in the story of Seven Deadly Sins, they actually do get in a relationship and everything. Whatever, dude. We don't talk about it. We don't talk about it.
they didn't really show any of the Japanese dub, just subtitles. So unless they speak Japanese, I can't say she is using the Japanese. My voice is so raspy.
when an interviewer asks
Oh,
Oda
dude,
about
I
relationships,
yelled it
he
out
answered
in a
with,
freaking Chicken Among Us, or the Duck Among Us.
Among Us.
A
More
era.
like Among Ducks. Got him.
Oh,
Anyway, romance does not really detract or add anything to female characters.
absolutely not. If
Wait.
anything, you could say it actually could it could help or ruin both female
Yeah,
and male characters.
it all depends on execution.
Yes.
Absolutely. Oh, absolutely.
for the male protagonist. In fact, when an interviewer asked Oda about relationships, he answered that the crew was in love with adventure. I say this to mention that it's incredibly unfortunate that such great writing get paired with this. And the thing that sucks is the characters didn't always look that way.
The issue with this is that she's only using the anime as an example for this, and it's not as bad in the manga.
Yeah, they went full overload. They went more with the anime.
Yeah,
It's kind of
especially on Robin.
it's also inconsistent as well, which does not help with the actual design.
At the start of the series, the characters had relatively normal proportions, which makes
What's wrong with being relatively normal? Why not have it be weird or exaggerated?
Well, yeah, weird. And I got kicked several times out of this Discord. But I'm always welcome back.
Saying relatively normal like is a good thing.
I'm actually quite insulted.
I'm insulted as a fellow weirdo. I'm
As a
insulted
fellow,
that you would
as a
say
fellow,
being normal is a good thing.
weirdo. Fellow weirdo.
At the start of the series, the characters had relatively normal proportions, which makes the descendants into madness even more apparent. However, I want to be clear that the characters don't have to be proportional.
The characters are still very stylistic here and appealing. They have that cartoonish charm that made me fall in love with the show instantly. Alright.
Or have realistic bodies.
Alright, you
I'm
pulled
not
my
saying
leg.
that.
You got
I definitely
me.
don't think the men have realistic bodies, and in some cases, the men are even more exaggerated than the female characters. However, they are still very diverse and original. The show
And stuff
The
to me was like
entire point
9
about
feet tall.
the entire point of being normal looking is completely unnecessary. Just
There's so many
contradicting
weird
what you
looking people
said.
in One Piece.
Yeah, Oda got his own style. But anyway, yeah, she just contradicted her opening statements.
I think the men have realistic bodies, and in some cases, the men are even more exaggerated than the female characters.
Wait, she showed Lucci, but apart from the funky beard, whatever.
However, they are still very diverse and original. To show a character design that is successful with an itty-bitty race, I introduce you to Meg Hercules, one of my favorite character designs.
Nice shooting, Rex.
I can't believe.
Looks like your game's over. Wonder Boys.
And look at her waist, it's extremely small, but her design is still appealing. And those are the main problems I have with the way Oda draws most of his women. Not only is it not really an appealing design choice, it's given to practically every female in the show. And before you tell me that
Wait, what?
What?
It's just
Rewind that.
yeah.
And those are the main problems I have with the way Oda draws most of his women. Not only is it not really an appealing design choice, it's given to practically every
Oh yeah,
Fine.
not that part.
Looks like your game's over. Wonder Boys.
And look at her waist, it's extremely small, but her design is still appealing.
So is she saying that's to detract Meg's design, or is it a good thing that it's? And then, what?
Have you seen Hercules?
Yes, I've seen Hercules.
Okay. So I just made that clear. You know, you haven't seen Naruto. I don't know what you've seen or not seen. What's your feeling with it? I'm quite fine with Meg's design.
She's fine, but she said it was like a negative. I think
Never seen it as a negative thing.
this is animation, American
It's
animation,
just-
totally different style
it-
and art. Look at the yeah, well, yeah, style of art.
That's
It's a
the
different art
Meg's freaking
style.
song.
Plus,
Let's talk about
she also-
Fiona's. Let's talk about Fiona's design and Shrek. She's plumping.
Yeah,
Is she or is she not? She gets thicker.
Yes, there are different characters, different character styles, and different art styles. You can't really compare Hercules to One Piece like this.
Could you make an argument about freaking Fiona from Shrek?
That's irrelevant. Well, that should be irrelevant since we're comparing different art styles to each other, I guess you could. Whatever.
And those are the main problems I have with the way Oda draws most of his women. Not only is it not really an appealing design choice, it's given to practically every
Appealing to you is fine, I guess.
female in the show. And before you tell me that's not true, look at Big Mom, Lola. There's a couple of exceptions to the rule,
And
but those aren't
there are still other types of women in the show. How's the bounty hunter from Whiskey Peak called? The big one.
Ye- yeah, but those are exceptions.
I mean,
If there's exceptions, wouldn't this argument kind of just be mute? It's nothing.
Yes, technically.
yeah, but now she's bringing up the exceptions.
She's not
In
talking about the exceptions. She's talking about the continuous thing. Like maybe it's just like okay, there's a few exceptions, but overall, the pie chart isn't. Pie chart still has a wide spectrum of just females that are just like this.
No. What I'm predicting is that she's going to say something like, "Yeah, there are exceptions like Big Mom and Lola, but these characters are ugly as a joke," or something like that.
Well, that's just
She's probably going to say.
well, that would just be well. If she says that, I'll see something about it.
choice. It's given to practically every female in the show. And before you tell me that's not true, look at Big Mom, Lola. There's a couple of exceptions to the rule, but those aren't it.
I don't
First
sound
of all,
like that.
a woman is either given this body shape or just completely grotesque. There's no middle ground. Either
Yeah, I remember that point. Then what would the middle ground look like? What is the middle ground? What's wrong with
is
it
the
being
middle ground?
exaggerated?
Males got super exaggerated, like a freaking Frankie.
What's the middle ground for the men? What's their middle ground? I had something here, but I forgot.
There's gotta be a middle ground. I
What
can't
is
think
it?
of anything.
basic, choose your fighter. But all the main women have this body, and if we're going to be honest, a lot of them even have the same face. Now, I'll admit the face problem isn't as bad as the body one, but it's still
No, I would say the face
Robin and
problem.
Nami does not look the
Face
same.
problem is stronger than the body problem. But that's also just for me. I swear I had a point there. Let me go back.
There's a couple of exceptions to the rule, but those aren't it. First of all, a woman is either given this body shape or just completely grotesque. There's no middle ground. It is your
No,
basic, choose
there
your
is
fighter.
a middle ground.
Oh.
Like the bounty hunter from Whiskey Peak. That's neither of those. That's something in between. She's lying. Or just forgetting her.
But is that the exception? Or is that the middle ground?
I suppose that would be the middle ground because it's neither overly sexualized or grotesque. It's neither of them. So she either is lying here or she forgot the character exists.
But one example in a franchise that's about 30 years long isn't that a bad thing?
Well, yes, the argument could totally be made that that's not enough. But to say or talk like that is not even that one character exists and say, yeah, there's nothing in between, there's only grotesque or overly sexualized, and even bring up it as like a strawman argument for it is that kind of I don't know what the word for it is. It's kind of not a good argument, or it should at least been brought up that this one character exists. If she,
They don't really bring up
you know,
like Chimney and Miss Goldenwake as examples.
Okay, I need to like delete A search history, just searching up female bodies in One Piece.
Chimney and Miss Golden Week as examples, but
Hmm.
you didn't bring that up, so must
Should
be
I
not the
should want
important
to
discussion.
incognito mode. This is too awkward.
What do you expect? You looked up something like that on the
I
internet.
I was trying to be like educational or something.
You expect too little from the internet.
I expect too much. I expect too little.
Spider. But all the main women have this body, and if we're gonna be honest, a lot of them even have the same face. Now, I'll admit the face problem isn't as bad as the body one, but it's still present. Vivi, Rebecca, Nami, and Kami all practically have the exact same
This
face.
is
And that's
three
just from the top of
people.
my
That's
head.
that's
That
four
problem
people
almost never
out of.
Yeah, she could add more people to that list.
I feel like she could.
And I do agree about the face thing. You've
Oh, absolutely. Like I said way before, like even if I'm making a joke, yeah, it's still fair enough argument to put it. But like, I don't think. Okay, it's something that I will point out, but I don't think it's something so egregious that'll keep me away from One Piece. Or that freaking dude who said like, the art keeps me down from One Piece. That's like the main thing, and then all that
Whoa,
type of stuff.
what's that? Gala who said that?
It was the dude that made that video about who would be the
I think that was
girlfriend of who be in a relationship with Deku.
something
About
something
to
the
more
mangaka. Yeah, I
Smash
know
or
what you
whatever.
mean. Did he say that? Whatever. I just want to go through this video.
occurs with the male characters. Sword Art Online is another anime that's criticized for having same face syndrome. The thing is, the difference between the genders is less obvious. One Piece is a show that is very cartoonish and loves to exaggerate proportions, so the difference in approach
Wait,
to
so
a
you're
female
telling
character's
me
design compared to
you're telling me One Piece should do better compared to other anime?
So
I think they all should do
she,
better.
so she is saying because One Piece is overall more diverse and has more character, it has to hold up to that higher standard all the time.
I feel
And
like all
because
of
the
them
other one
should.
doesn't try as hard, it's okay there. Okay, got it.
That's
That's
not.
stupid.
That's very
That's not. That's not good.
disingenuous.
That is not good. That is not good at all. You should expect better for all. If and if
male
you're
is
gonna make
wide
if you're gonna
exaggerated.
like count that as an exception, you better like have an example. Like, oh, this is different because it's like when you have like two of the exact same, but then you'd be like, oh wait, they're not exactly the same. There's actually something that there is like to make an exception. You know, just like it's a good example. Saying that. What's a good example?
Well, like Hajime no Ippo, Ju- Jujutsu Kaisen, uh, JoJo's Bizarre Adventure,
I had it. God damn it, I had it.
Astro Boy, Speed Racer.
God, shit, I got. It flew away. Flew like a dumb butterfly. Continue the video.
Yeah.
Proportions, so the difference in approach to when a female character is designed compared to a male is widely apparent. What's even more disheartening is knowing that Oda clearly has the ability to make a
God,
cast
that's
of
so
gorgeous
bright.
and diverse female characters, but just chooses not to. Look at Robin's first introductions. First one. She looks amazing, and look how
What?
unique your face shape is. And don't forget
Also, what? Her face didn't really change, right?
I think is he talking about the body? Like, it's kind of
Oh
hard to
no,
hear.
she's talking about the face now.
I
Oh,
mean,
the
I
face.
suppose the face changed a little bit, maybe, but it's mostly the same. Well, it's a bit more smooth in post-script, maybe. I don't have the direct comparison.
She
The
looks
manga.
amazing.
Yeah,
And look how
cowgirl
unique your face shape
Robin.
is.
She
And don't
looks
forget
amazing.
Perona. These are a couple of the exceptions, but they do not make the rule. However,
It's a pretty nice one.
Granted, there could be more faces.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Wait,
But I
what?
feel like she might be exaggerating the
Wait a minute.
idea a bit too much.
Uh, So wait, is she trying to compare current Robin to an an older Robin's face, or she's just saying face designs in general?
One Piece, Robin, New Robin, Old Robin.
These are a couple of the exceptions, but they do not make the rule. However, this still only applies to the face thing because their bodies are exactly the same, even if their faces do diverge from the norm.
I.
While the men's bodies and faces are always very
Oh Jesus! It just got louder.
distinct. In another interview, he's actually been asked about the designs. He admits that he's gotten a lot of angry fan mail from female One Piece readers. And this also shows that it's not just the Western fans wanting to ruin anime. Some women of Japan, where One Piece is produced, also expressed annoyance at how women were depicted in his manga. I'm going to read a summarized, translated excerpt from one of his interviews. He believes One
Hey,
Piece is
remember
exclusively
freaking Robin was tanned? Remember that?
Robin was only 10 in the anime.
Yeah,
Anyway,
the
continue.
manga colors for characters' skin color is very uh samey. They
Yeah,
really branched out in the anime, especially with
yeah,
Caesar.
I like
and
it.
I think then color panels came out after her introduction where she wasn't 10, and they fixed it then after the time skip. I'm pretty sure that was what it was. It was just a creative liberty they took in the anime pre-time skip.
Translated excerpt from one of his interviews. He believes One Piece is exclusively tailored to teenage boys, shonen, and therefore avoids romance and death scenes as much as possible. He also rejects the requests from female audiences because they are not his target audience. For example, he gets a lot of complaints from women because of the way he draws female characters. He got a request from a woman to remove shin hair from Sanji because she thought it makes him look less attractive, etc. So Oda
Okay, where is this? Cite me the source, please. I remember seeing this when I first saw the video. I was wondering, really?
Because this one particular woman, this one particular woman just didn't like the look of Sanji's freaking. Okay. That's just like one person.
That is one
There's,
person.
there's gotta be women and men who are interested with that.
Plus, it didn't give a source. I mean, it didn't cite the source, so that can be disregarded.
practically doesn't really consider his female fans of his work as he does his male fans. At least he's being honest. He pretty much says this is for boys and boys only. You can watch it too, but don't expect your opinion to actually carry any weight. Here's another quote from one of his interviews. I approached it thinking that since I'm drawing for a boys' comic magazine, then it's my job to make sure they enjoy what they're reading. When you actually do become a professional, you'll start getting fan letters and other things, and you'll soon find out that the overwhelming majority of them are from girls. Boys just aren't the type to pick up a pen. Haha! They don't have things like stationery or stamps, and they don't think about going through the grueling task of writing someone just to say that was cool. Boys are a life form that enjoys something but won't bother to tell you that they actually do.
In this world,
maybe.
you can't get anywhere
What could
if you
say
are
the
afraid to fall.
sources?
If you want
Well,
to win, that takes a
even if it's true, I mean, you can certainly say that's bad, and it is in a way, but he's basically saying so. I have to think about my target demographic first, and you can certainly criticize the way he is doing it and he's wording it, but it's an understandable approach in the core concept.
Yeah. It would really help if you just cite the sources, please. Really help if you cite the sources. Yeah, whatever.
So just by reading this, it's pretty clear that despite Oda having a very large female fan base that sends him mail, he has rationalized that the reason he doesn't get a lot of mail from male fans is because writing letters is a girl thing. Granted, this is Japan, and I'm not fully informed on their specific gender rules, so this could be a natural belief. But fellas, is it gay to be literate? Sexism is kind of...
Okay,
Did
but why
she
didn't he?
just make that joke?
Could you say that again?
Did she just really make that joke?
Yes. Also, why didn't she get a translation from that screenshot? That could have helped her arguments. Oh, whatever.
disappointing. Do I think Oda will ever improve and diversify the female characters he designs? No. He doesn't really respect
No,
women in real life, he doesn't respect his fans. And that's clear.
that's not true.
Doesn't he have
And
like a wife?
that's a. I mean, you can have one and not respect women,
Fair enough.
but that's just a big thing to just drop on Oda.
Yeah, that is like that freaking persona homophobic transphobe. It's just you are stating something very big. You should really. It's like what I said before with the Dragon Ball crap. It's like it's a big statement, and you have to give me a big reason on why this is sexist or the biggest manga ever or breaking the stereotypical things of women. It's something so big where it's just like, let's say something. That's why I don't
Clearly
like,
reflected in his
just
work.
instantly saying sexist or whatever. I usually throw it as a joke because I don't
Yeah,
like
yeah.
just throwing it out for real things.
Like women in real life, he doesn't respect his fans. And that's clearly reflected in his work. You can learn a lot about an artist based on what they produce. The limited design the female characters have.
Uh, e- uh, really? I'm just flabbergasted. I'm just in shock and awe. Don't mind me. That's just a big thing to say with relatively little examples.
Have the options to be either perfect or grotesque. Is it that big of a stretch to say he may put women in real life in those boxes too, compared to the many way men are allowed to be depicted in his works?
But why do you think? But why
When asked
is
on
it
how
really?
Oda draws one,
And she brought up. Why can't you just bring this? Oh, well, okay.
woman, he explained how and sketched a bit. 2 lines and a set of circles on top. That is Oda's elusive drawing process when it comes to women. A pencil with tits.
No, that's not what it's saying. It's nice to meet you. If you don't mind, could you tell me the secrets of drawing the hourglass figures of the women in One Piece? If there is no bread, let them eat roses? What an interesting pen name. Yes,
Mm-hmm.
hello, this is the Specialist BS drawing session. Just think of the female figure as 3 circles and 1X, and now goodbye. It's the only figure you draw, your female characters will send you many criticisms.
I mean, this is not all the women, obviously.
If this is the only figure you draw, your female characters will send you many criticisms. Try to remain strong and dedicated. Uh, I don't really know what to imply with that. Try to stay calm. I mean,
No,
strong.
I think what it's trying to say is that if you only use this body type for women, you will get many critiques, but you should just stay strong against this critique and just do what you want. I think is what it's trying to say.
But you're
I
really
don't know how
strong.
accurate that translation is.
It's pretty.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's worded pretty weird. But yeah, this is kind of a negative on Oda's part. But this is not, you know, his. I mean, this is the usual, but he doesn't do this with every woman. So take with it.
Just imagine with Big Mom just having bigger circles and just a bigger X.
I mean,
Imagine,
proportionally.
imagine, imagine that for Big Mom.
Don't need to imagine. That's a canonical character design. You do know that, right?
I wasn't thinking about that.
You don't think about whatever. Think before you make you jokes. You hear?
Oda is an incredibly talented writer. He's clearly passionate about what he does, and hey, he's good at it. I'm not saying that we should cancel Oda or anything like that.
Well, yeah, but Oda doesn't care about his fans or women. That's a fine thing to say.
But I just wanted to bring attention to a lot of creators in the industry and what they may feel. Like I said before, I doubt he'll ever change it, especially since he has no respect for his female fans to begin with, but I still wanted to talk about it. What's your opinion? Do you like or hate the One Piece designs? Like, comment, and don't forget to subscribe if you want to see more content.
What? All right. Was it reading Discord?
I also want to add this a little last minute. This is why it is very imperative that we support female manga artists. I'm going to put a couple on screen. We support women everywhere, right? Alright, guys, see you soon.
What? Just started showing random anime at the end. What? All right, I'm just gonna put this part on this. Wait, no, I can't really
Female
do that.
mangakas,
Please don't fake left. And
manga
if please don't
artists.
write, then what the fuck is the SBS? Yeah, it's very bad, Mean Spice.
Oh yeah, I totally forgot. Freaking Fullmetal Alchemist was made by a woman.
It would be helps immensely if she cited her sources on those, cause that really took Oda in a bad light. Like sorta.
I think it kind of did. Wait a minute. Hold on a second. Same person who made that freaking Ace Girl with like Jaguar freaking bikini and tank top, whatever, is a woman? Pretty sure it is. Actually, let me check. Yep, same one that also did freaking Inuyasha, water thing about the guy turning into a girl. Hmm. What's this one?
Uh,
Sailor Moon. This one did
you want me
Sailor
to read out
Moon.
the comments, Meme Spice? How to make One Piece female characters. Take an hourglass, attach two balloons onto its top side to make the balloons at maximum size. Attach twig limbs. Yeah, alright. Honestly appreciate this video isn't the where are her organs argument or just complaining about boobs. The problem isn't the fan service, it's the fact that not all of his females look like carbon copies of each other's, and I'm glad that this video talks about it. Being a female, it did sting a little bit to learn that Oda's attitudes towards women's fans, but respect to women isn't something Japan is known for in the first place, so to say I'm shocked wouldn't be a lie. Would be a lie. What? I'm really sick of seeing women as a decorative object in shonen anime. They always use them as fan service tools, something that men can use to beat their fucking dicks. What the fuck? Help me, Welp. I mean, Welp. I guess it's a give in. It's a given, not it's a give. Since some of the authors are people who see women as decorative objects, except for Gintama. Yeah, except for Gintama. All of
There's
them
a
except
lot
for
of there's,
one.
there's a lot of other exceptions. Like Okay,
But
it's gotta be
Gintama.
fan service. There's absolutely gotta be fan service with Gintama, especially how long the series is. There's gotta be a few things. I'll do it right now. Heck, I'll do it right now. And I'm pretty sure this jokes on base like the main character just touching the moves and then he gets like freaking almost he basically gets murdered and he starts gushing out blood. I don't think I should post this. I
What? So let me get this straight. The author knows many girls slash women's read his manga, but he willingly chooses to ignore them. Well, that's a pretty shitty thing to do. Then someone says, "You do realize he was trolling, right? Like Oda jokes all the time in his interviews like this. Come on now. Most long-time One Piece fans know that."
Oh my god, there's a gender bend freaking arc. Gintama? Oh, this full on freaking groping them.
I am a woman, loving woman. The character designs itself doesn't bother me. It's the fact that they all look the same is what does. I am an artist as well who loves character designs, and honestly, it just bores me. Maybe give some wider hips, thicker thighs, some with smaller boobs, even some with nice muscles and abs, you know? Yeah, he really should do that more often. I'm not sure if it's just laziness or just a complete inability, like with Toriyama.
I mean, let's be honest. The Fire Force fan service can go a bit too much, even for like its first parts,
Yeah,
the beginning parts of the
that's
story.
pretty much all fan service, really.
I mean,
Especially,
sometimes it can be
especially
really
with,
cool fan
especially with
service.
bad anime slash manga. You just turn it up a notch and just sacrifice all character. Uh, well, I guess I can. Unless anyone else wants, unless y'all want to leave, I'll just go.
Do I got a freaking video hidden up my sleeve? No, I
Oh,
do not.
more
Well,
stuff.
I will have to go to bed now. It's quite late in my country.
All right, all right.
Have a nice night or morning or whatever. Still, I'll leave now.
All right,
Goodbye.
boss. Good night.
Yeah, if
This
I
guy.
contribute enough.
God, he needs to make more content. That, that, which one was it? Was it this guy? Or was it the other guy?
Tutorial.
The one with, Katakuri. Oh, damn, he doesn't do anything. Oh, well. I guess that'll be it for now. Alright, good night. And I stopped the recording.